Okay, well, turns out the map was wrong, so awkward. Hopefully the players got the hint. Yeah, the players got the hint. Okay, so they left. Interesting though, I see people in chat saying that Classic is gonna get wrecked by ByuN. I don't know that I actually agree with that. So I think generally speaking, ByuN's a good enough player to take on Classic. There's no doubt about it. But ByuN and many other really good Terran players have been dying to people like Hero and Classic pulling off really aggressive, really cheesy, really proxy Protoss players. So I think I understand where people have that thought. I actually believe Classic could take this series. I'll take the opposite stance, not just to be argumentative, but because I think it actually happened. But either way, it looks like we've remade it. Play the intro again. See you guys soon. No, wait. It's a different map. Hang on. And apparently a different map changes everything, because sending out an SCV immediately across the map at the top left is going to be our blue Terran ByuN. With his button at the bottom right, the red Protoss Classic. And if you guys don't know, this is a best of 7 for the grand finals of the Olimoleague, and it is going to straight up be a proxy. Now, I had talked about Classic perhaps being the one quick to cheese and all that, but incorrect. As it's ByuN who's doing it here for this first game. Now, ByuN likes to do the proxy Reaper, and sometimes he'll do just that, and that's fine. That can usually get about 4 probe kills and just like be worth the scouting too. But he usually follows this up with a proxy factory, followed up by a proxy starport, and he'll go super all in with it. I will say though, we've been recently watching some people lift that factory and take it to the main. I'm wondering if he'll do that. Oh, Classic Scouts. That's so sick. ByuN always does this in the same spot, which is a bit of a bummer. So it's kind of easy to predict what's going on. But even though the Zealot starts, and this does force a Zealot to start, by the way, so I mean, that's already damage done. I really don't think this will be too problematic for the Reaper. Because this got found out, I don't think he's going to try and do anything else on this side of the map. I guess the factory will start up at some point, though, and we'll get to find out where he wants to put it. I would love if he sniped this in the main, though. But that's something you do against, like, you know, ladder play. It's not something you do against a player like Classic. Also, why are my headphones cutting out? Is my battery dying? Hang on, what's that, guys? I'll deal with this later. Because I know you'll be able to hear it even if my headphones die. So I'll worry about it after. Because, yeah, right now I got no in-game sounds. It feels bad, man. If the stream has no in-game sounds, press 1. If the stream does have in-game sounds, press 2. Because if it has no in-game sounds, then I'll look into it right away instead of waiting until after the game's done. But I think you guys should be able to hear it. Like I've done things where I've turned off my headsets before on purpose, and the stream could still hear things. So I think we should be okay. Every time Zombie opens her mouth, am I right? I just hit that mute button. Oh, I'm just kidding. So the factory did go down at home, by the way. So no proxy factory. Feels bad. Feels sad. But he brings the barracks back home and start up his command center and hopefully get back on track. 2 Reapers, if unattended, can actually get some pretty considerable damage done to that probe line very quickly, but I don't think Classic is going to leave that unattended. That Zealot took a bit of damage too, but ultimately, yeah, these Reapers are forced to disengage. Stargate on the way. See how that Stargate fares. I think right now, if you guys haven't been watching like a lot of TvP, excuse me. If you guys haven't been watching a lot of TvP, this matchup has gone really heavy towards Adepts and Phoenix, and they've taken the popularity of the matchup and they've sucked all the fun out of it. But no, actually, when you see a player who's skilled enough to make Phoenix Adept work. I actually really like it. It's going to start with an Oracle, but that's going to lead into the question of will Classic play Phoenix Adept? I'm thinking likely. He was trying so hard to bait out that overcharge. Finally successfully does it. If he baits out 2 overcharges in total, that might leave the Mothership core low enough that the Reapers could run by up this cliff. But he knows there's a pylon there, so he doesn't want to risk it. What's he going to do about that Oracle, though? Other side of the map, there's no Widow Mines being made. There's no turrets out. I'm actually kind of worried. That Oracle could get a lot of kills. Cyclones get lifted up to the main. I guess this isn't too bad. They focus on the Zealot, which was funny to see. One gets lifted. Well, they're technically both in the air right now. This game, I'm not gonna lie, guys. This game is super boring when there's no sounds for it. Let's see here. Top side back at home. I guess that barracks production is finally kicking in. It's funny watching ByuN do it like this, by the way. ByuN has really 2 ways, I feel, of like not just opening but playing. A lot of kills going on both sides of the map while this went on. So I tried to get home and check out the Oracle damage because we were, of course, watching the damage on this side of the map. But it looks like that got about, excuse me, 12 and 14 workers apiece. I was going to mention, though, ByuN has kind of 2 ways to play against Protoss. One is like when you do aggressive, dirty things like this, and the game starts with a proxy. And the other seems to be like the command center first into like the 3cc follow-up, which obviously in this instance would have been better. As he moves down the middle of the map, though, this is going to be a little bit awkward. There's a tank up front. I don't know that Classic can really break much here. I guess he's out of range of the tank here, so poking away at the wall is totally feasible, but get baited. Get baited, nerd. Liberator doesn't kill much, but pushes probes off mining. Actually, where's that income sit after all this harass is said and done? I guess Classic a little bit better off. Chrono Boost is cool and consistent. The upside to tanks, they are massively strong against most things Protoss. They can shoot from very far away. Downside, they're not classified as massive units, so Phoenix can pick them up. Also, gut the reinforcement lines like this, so ByuN's going to have to reinforce in clusters and not rally down the middle of the map, and that's going to take away a lot of power from what I think he was hoping to get out of this push. It is game 1, but this is kind of an interesting feeler of a game. Again, keep in mind, every aspect of this is ByuN playing a little bit behind because of his opening. I think that he did transition out of it quick enough that it wasn't so all in, but it was still just dedication. Marine's going to bleed out. Those tanks, as soon as they're on the ground, are going to die. So, hell, they might even die in the air. Yeah, it just lifts them up again. Easy pickings. This is brutal for ByuN. These are some pretty expensive and important units to hold on to. Back at home, we don't see a 3rd CC. Not on the way. Rifkin, how? Guys, I'm telling you, like, this game has no sound for me right now. And I am actually zoning out because I'm so tired already to begin with. So, sloppy observing is what it is. Actually, you know what I could do to fix that? There are other people observing the game. Like, we watch Crank's camera. Oh, it's tilted. Oh, no. Oh, Fruit Bunkers is too. With the Chinese guy. Okay, Chinese guy's camera's okay. I'm putting this on the camera so I can go fix the sound because I am actually just going to not be able to pay attention to the game without sound. I'm literally, like, so bored I'm falling asleep without game sound. So give me 1 sec here. I'm sorry, guys. 7:30 a.m. feels bad, man. Okay, I think... No, that didn't work. Oh, because it's using the wrong sound device. Why did it swap sound devices, though? What the fuck? Okay, I can hear now. Yay! I mean, I don't... Oh, is he using Alarak? Side note? I just heard that. Okay, well, that's not going to help. It needs to be under attack. Sorry. Anyways, I don't have any excuses. Just an apology, guys. Hope you accept it. Now I can hear things. Should be a little bit more action-packed and a little bit less boring. Oh, that medevac pickup sound never sounded so good. But look, it is Surprise Adept Phoenix, the composition of champions. Woodmine's going to look to get a decent hit here, but it's not going to hit much of anything that's going to stop the army. And ByuN is not turning around to go home. He's going full bore across the map. So once again, another base trade. Ace 1, Ace 2, boys and girls. ByuN's going to lose control of that natural almost immediately, though, which is alarming. Classic decides to transfer the Adepts and come back home. This is where ByuN's Widow Mines could be really good. He does have 5 of them after all. 6 of them, excuse me. So if those can all hit the Adepts, I think that Bio can easily deal with the rest. But the Bio's got to be careful. The Widow Mines go off on stupid probes. Okay, and Classic gets baited once again. Get baited, nerd. Through that Widow Mine field. He loses a lot of Adepts. ByuN now has a fighting chance, but oh no, he's unloading into an overcharge. He's getting chased by the Phoenix, so forget what I said. Maybe spoke too soon. If you're cheering for Terran, pray hard, guys, because ByuN's in some trouble. Although, as an asterisk, there doesn't appear to be detection. Oh no, where's the observer? It's coming home. But these Widow Mines are arming once again. They can go over the Phoenix. There's so many of them. Oh man, he probably thought there's like 3 or 4. No, oh, ByuN, why'd you unburn the Widow Mines? He had the perfect position. Oh, he was kind of, you don't see ByuN ever do silly things like that. But I think if those Widow Mines stayed burrowed, he didn't sweat this fight at all. Classic had no idea there was 6. He thought there was like 3. He was ready to go back in with those Phoenix. Now some of the Phoenix are finally going down, and that's nice. There's still like a million Adepts on the ground. Things getting a little too fast, a little too furious, and ByuN's losing out on any momentum he may have had. Feels bad, man. Middle of the map. There's no medevacs. This army stims and it's permanent damage. Granted, 12 Marauders is pretty nice, and those aren't going to go down too quickly if Phoenix lift them or anything like that. But yeah, the Widow Mines are cleaned up. It got annoying. But that march of the Adepts, 36 Adepts. Where's that Alpha 5? Ay, 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 ay. ByuN now transferring his main over to the 3rd. He's hard up for money. Now it's worth noting, if Classic plays this really foolishly and greedy, these Widow Mines could actually get some amazing hits. So I don't think he knows they're there. He gets baited onto the Widow Mines once again. It's a lot of damage, but we'll see if that's enough. Marauders and Marines going to desperately try to clean this up. The Phoenix numbers are not big enough to crowd control everything, but there's no medevac healing, so this game is over. And I think Classic has run over ByuN here in game number 1. GG. Classic takes the first game of the best of 7 grand finals. Kind of like a bit of a showmatch here, guys. But it is only one game. It is but one game. Okay, well, let's see what map 2 is in store. It is still loser's pick. That much doesn't change, but I guess we should note the Olimoleague only uses 5 maps out of the 7 available in the map pool. So you might be wondering, well, how does best of 7 work with loser's pick? And basically, once we reach map 6, the map pool resets and they can pick from any of the maps all over again. Looks like Cactus Valley is going to be the next map. Also, shout out to our standing boss, Monty, and once again, thank you very much for those bits, and nobody has been able to touch this guy. Well, excuse me, someone donated 1 bit. If I had to guess, it's probably Mega Dog if he's still lurking around in chat. But, yeah, currently on the way to getting the Hell It's Boot Time portrait code. Quick peek at what that looks like. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay, that's not great resolution because I picked the tiny one from the lobby, but, you know, you get the idea. I think the thing about the portrait itself is it could look like garbage. It could just be a portrait code of an exclamation mark, right? Like no effort whatsoever. But the fact that it's rare makes it so valuable. Makes it so cool. Ooh, ah. Oh, well, speaking of the devil, Corvin ends up hitting him for 100 damage. Smack to the face. Pop, pop, pop. Spawning here at the top right side of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the blue Terran player. It is none other than ByuN. Currently down 1 game in the series. And this is my, like, sticking it to you to the haters out there. I told you guys Classic could pull a game. In the bottom right, or bottom left, excuse me, it's the Red Protest Classic. But it's not just a game. I actually think you might be able to take a series. The thing is, and I really, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. ByuN went for a cheese that was scouted and dealt with appropriately, forcing him to play from behind. And he did play really well from behind. Widowmine shots were good. Classic made some mistakes. There's no doubt about it. Like making anything other than adepts. But in all seriousness, I think that Classic actually made really good unit compositions and choices and engagements. I think part of the Widowmine hits were kind of like he knew he could afford to take the Widowmine hits, seeing how desperate ByuN was getting for damage. But ultimately, maybe now in a more fair setting, we'll see how ByuN does. I want to note he didn't do his Command Center build first. Our Command Center first build on Cactus Valley. He seems to have favored that a lot. Him and Innovation both for a while were doing one of two things, and it's either super stacking factory units or going for the fast Command Center and then getting 3 barracks behind it on this map in particular. So very interesting to see him play a different build to it. BaseTradeTV, why are you so tired? Well, friendo, if you missed it yesterday, we did a really awesome AMA on stream. Then I got to hang out with Zombie Grub. I will say this really quick, guys. Don't tell her I said this. I'm really sad we didn't get more hangout time. But we did get to go see Power Rangers. We met up with one of our subscribers there too. Shout out to Meal Mage. Came home after visiting Tim Hortons. And then I had just tried to sleep for the Olimoleague, but I didn't get any sleep. So, yeah, I've been up for a while. My energy drink is not helping as much as I was hoping it would. My apologies. But unfortunately, due to the way we had set things up logistically, normally in this situation, I could say like, hey, Zombie, do you mind solo casting tonight or casting with Maynard or something? Because I can't sleep. I am too tired, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't an option for today. And it's the monthly I mean, if this is a weekly cup, I might have considered being like, hey, Olivia, I'm a bit exhausted for tonight. But you know what? We held it together for 3 hours so far. We're on the hour 4 stretch. We'll finish this off. I'm not worried about it. But I am going to, like, with a snap of my fingers, collapse the second we're done with the stream today. So don't expect too much bonus content. No co-op streams today. What's bits? Where's bits? Who's bits? Bits are the currency on Twitch, man. Who's bits? Your bits. And Norbits was a terrible movie. Pop, 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 pop! ByuN healing up that damage. 100 health. Goes right back to full. Alright, Hellions managed to sneak in. Looking for a couple of probe kills. This is where they talk about changing it up when it comes to factory units, but I don't think ByuN's really dedicating to this. This looks like he's just trying to get some cost efficiency out of them, and they are. Already did. 6 probes dead isn't bad. Get some scouting in the main, which is more valuable. I don't think you need to scout to know it's a Stargate anymore, but it's a nice confirmation. What the slippery hell was that Hellion? Okay. Well, as the Oracle comes in on the other side of the map, we do have Widowmines on the way, but I don't believe anything positioned here to save these SCVs, so ByuN is going to have to just run or stay stacked. Give the Oracle free kills. Rip. Well, speaking of free kills, actually, while the Oracle dances on the other side of the map, that means Classic might not be paying attention to what's going on here. This actually gets five probe kills to start with. The Oracle has killed 10 SCVs plus mules, however, so still not in a fantastic spot. But that medevac gets out alive, and the second Widowmine has not gone off yet. It's only going to get 2 probe kills, but still, shots fired, shots annoying, and Classics, I guess, got a 3rd base. Did ByuN scout that? ByuN did scout that. Okay, so he can just transfer the probes here and ignore the Widowmines for the time being. This actually isn't that bad. It's, yeah, gonna be a problem if he doesn't clean them up eventually, but oh, wait a minute. That one just shot. Oh, if that Widowmine hadn't shot, this could have got amazing hits. Well, while this goes on, ByuN walks 2 more Widowmines across the map. I love it. One's going to be dealt with immediately, not a problem. Other one's going to go towards the 3rd. And while he does try to miss Classic up with this, it is worth noting that Classic is still ahead by a fair amount of probes. Although if he keeps getting 5 at a time, that's not going to be the case. There's no third CC in sight. Right now, what I'm more worried about is actually upgrades. So, Stim, a little bit... Oh, we'll see on time, actually. I wouldn't even call that late. But +1 starts up without the addition of a second engineering base, so... Yo. Oh, Solidus Dub. What a guy. He just... Bacon wanted the 1 health hit. Bacon, if you're paying attention, now's your time to shine. Oh, you lost it, dude. Corvin knocked it down. Thank you, Solidus, for the bits. Man, Solidus, quick shout out, dude. It was good seeing you this weekend. I felt like we didn't have enough time together. I was actually really heartbroken that I didn't get enough time to hang out with anybody. But, yo, GG's get called because the Widow Mines are too much to deal with for poor Classic, who is relying on an Oracle. Yeah, I just want to point out before I leave, the workers killed wasn't even that devastating. Or the workers remaining, excuse me. But it's the fact that he had no way to stop that from continuing to do damage. The robo was still not even done. That tap out makes perfect sense. GG's. ByuN ties it up 1-1. But every two games, a commercial break. So see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Game 3 when we get back. Alright, folks. Welcome back. Game number 3 underway. Things signed up now 1-1. Gotta give some big thank yous before we get into this game. First off, Solidus Dub for the 38-month resubs. This is Ace Kate. Alaska Winter hits us up with 38 months as well. Oh, subscriber brothers says, go ByuN! Ace 1, Ace 2, hashtag pineapple on pizza. Ugh. But he's not staying at home, so I shouldn't dilly-dally too long. We'll talk about the bits in a moment. Bottom right, we got ByuN. With his opponent in the bottom left, the Red Protoss Classic. And I was going to replay some bits really quick because, as you notice, ByuN recently slayed the dragon hard. So ByuN says, I love that everyone works so hard together to finally knock him down. And he's just like, he's like a Dark Souls boss who just gets back up and like one-shots. It's a 2400 health. Oh, GG. Anyways, the proxy barracks comes into play, and the big thing is this probe will scout that. Now, it doesn't know where it is, and that was a big part of shutting it down in game number 1. But the fact remains that this has now been revealed, and Classic will probably start up a Zealot, do the appropriate moves as we saw before. It delays the Nexus. ByuN gets sort of behind-the-scenes damage done while this happens, but we'll see how much the Reaper can actually get done. This map actually has a couple of hop-up spots that aren't too bad. And if done perfectly, usually that thing can kill about 4 probes. Just microing and skirting around outside the Zealot. Reaper is gonna head on up to the main, and yeah, there's not really much out. He's gonna chrono out the mothership core, so this really should limit probe kills to 4, but the fact that Classic already pulled 4 off the line makes this Reaper damage already pretty rough to deal with. I like the micro out of ByuN too. Misclicks 1 time, but you know what? ByuN's a god, so like 1 misclick is acceptable. 2 probes down on a timer now. Mothership core is out. Overcharge will slay the Reaper if he goes too close to that pylon, so it is about trying to get some more probe kills, but I think 3 is totally adequate for the lost mining that combines with that, and ByuN takes a huge spike in income while this goes on. Back at home, though, there's not a command center being built. The barracks floats on back, and factories finished up, so starport's on the way. There's that 4th probe kill, and this Reaper, I love this. Like, this is some sick control to ByuN. He almost didn't lose that Reaper. I mean, he would have lost it to the Adept, but 2 star. Whoa. What is going to be going on here? I don't even know what to make of this. Like, part of me wants to sit here and start getting hyped over, like, 2-port Banshee. Say, like, that's a possibility. Maybe some Liberators come out. But I've never seen 2 starports like this. He's going for a medevac? Yeah, okay, that was a mistake. I was wondering about that. Like, ByuN's a crazy guy. He's willing to try new, different things. Like, credit where it's due, right? But even I was like, that's a bit of a stretch. If you didn't... Maybe if he wasn't building a medevac, I could have seen that being a little bit more viable. But anyways, point is, he doesn't have a lot to carry over, so he's just going to go for Widow Mines, shuttle them over as quick as he can. Unfortunately, second Widow Mine's not quite out yet. So just going to go with 1 for the time being. Thank you, Gung Sumi, for the Twitch Prime sub. Glad to have you on board the Base Trade Brigade. Enjoy your time while you're here. I have not sent out the replay pack for the Ting Open, by the way, just so our subs are aware, but those will be coming out soon. I bring this up, though, as a segue to quickly plug the Olimoleague's Patreon, as it's the only way to get replay packs from this tournament, from this monthly final. So patreon.com/Olimoleague. That Wood Mine comes in, and I don't think it's going to quite tear Classic apart the same way it did before, but it will still be annoying. I actually really like the Phoenix being prioritized for this, even if he knew it was coming versus guessed it was coming. Things like picking off the medevac. Man, boost does nothing against Phoenix, Jesus. Picking out the medevac is already just a great kill on its own, but the fact that you can scoop things out of the ground with this now is even better. But with the Oracle over here, 2 Adepts ready and waiting, especially a Zealot, I applaud ByuN's efforts, but it's accomplishing nothing, and this also means that his command center was delayed for nothing. Although, somehow, that got 4 kills. That should not have gotten 4 kills. He's waiting to pick it up. Oh, he's so sick. Problem is, though, that medevac is going to die because he did this, and I feel like saving the medevac would have been more worthwhile. But he does get a bro on the Widow Mine. I mean, what you guys have to understand is ByuN just prioritized the Widow Mine's life over the medevacs, and I don't know how I feel about that because you have a very limited amount of medevacs you can't even make in this matchup in the first place. But this Widow Mine walks over. I mean, a big part of why this is so hard to deal with is because detection is so limited through that Oracle. Ah, that almost got one of them down. If one of those had gone down, that would have been nice. It's not going to quite kill the Phoenix, but good hit nonetheless. He sees that third base of the medevac before it goes down. I don't know. I feel like I like what ByuN's doing, and Widow Mines are really freaking cool against Stargate openers when you know the game can play out like it did in that game too. But I feel like Classic kind of made the mistake once and he won't happen again. Plus, we're past the time of opening for it. Now it's like mid game, and 2 Oracles coming to the main, driven off immediately. There are turrets and cyclones and marines. Anti-air is not a problem. It's just reaction times, I suppose it might be. Looks like while this is going on, that Widow Mine managed to grab another random hit. Maybe even killed a Phoenix, actually. Probes died over here, too. No, okay, it just got the Phoenixes all really, really low. Didn't quite kill him. That's actually great, though, because this Phoenix being low will give Classic like a false sense of confidence, and as he runs around with all these Phoenix in one control group, thinking like, oh, you got 5, so it's not a problem. He's actually going to bleed out 2 almost immediately in any engagement. This Widow Mine continues to be such a problem. Robo's coming out. I do want to point out, like, this game actually got really close to being a problem. Like, that Widow Mine that was in the main here, if it had never been cleaned up, would have killed so many more probes by now. I mean, kudos to Classic for defending the way he did, but also kind of like shrug at Classic for still taking damage this late in the game. Like, it's not devastating as we can see, but it's still damage nonetheless. This drop's gonna get intercepted. Nope, it's an Oracle. Excuse me, I thought that was a Phoenix. So drop at the south is gonna get scouted. How sick would that be if they like pathway just to the wrong time, right? He's still going to pull back, though. He doesn't want to risk it. Top left also gets scouted. This one's got Widow Mines, though. These seemingly random Widow Mines, I mean, they're not bad. They're doing so much damage to these Phoenix. It's actually kind of crazy. Well, ByuN is not making this game all about the Widow Mines. He has been using them very successfully. Even just grabbing an Adept here is not bad. This means there's less for the Marine stuff to worry about, but oh, that overcharge scares them off right quick. I was going to say there's some anti-air, but the Phoenix quickly swooping afterwards. That medevac could bait towards these Marines maybe. Widow Mines are on the ground. That medevac in some danger, does go down, doesn't unload its cargo. Really wants to bait back into this, but Classic I think at this point is aware there's a lot of baiting that's going to be going on. That last game, actually, I think in both games there's a fair bit of baiting, right? Hey, Math Man, thank you for the 12-month resub. 12 minus 1, that is, because it's 11. That was math. You're welcome, Math Man. Or, I meant to say thanks for subbing, dude. Oracle still does patrolling. Actually ends up having a fair bit of energy. I wonder if I'll start using stasis traps or not. It's usually a lot more effective versus Zerg, but not bad if you take out a chunk of the Terran army. It's a lot of adepts. You might go through with the shade. No, that revelation actually ended up being very important to see. There's a lot of Widow Mines there. That's not 1 or 2 Widow Mines. That's enough that your adepts do not want to shade into that. Also, I'm not sure. My sound's starting to cut out again. I did get a new set of headphones, but I don't know why it's maybe I didn't install the driver or something. I'll have to look into that after. Sorry guys, if I stop paying attention, it's just I'm getting tilted by the lack of sound. Anyways, transfers through, but the Widow Mines hit. There's a lot of splash damage. In the end, it might not matter though. The Liberators get taken out by the Phoenix. So many adepts on the ground can deal with whatever ByuN has in terms of bio. They might not be able to bust a bunker so well. Yeah, it takes a while. He bleeds out like, I'd say half of his adepts to kill that bunker. That wasn't worth. But he's got a new round warped in, so maybe he just doesn't care. ByuN technically has more army supply for this, though. So I feel like, yeah, good SCV pull. He might be able to hold on. So Widow Mines walk forward. Nothing to shoot that warp prism. Finally shoots it away with the Marines. Nice pick off. 11 SCVs die. ByuN's going to come out of this with like 50-something supplies. So if he just counterattacks, Classic should fall over. He lost a lot of SCVs, but to be honest, sitting on 40 plus, that's enough for like 9 Marine production. That's not bad. It's building Marauders too, obviously, but as he pushes for that counter, Classic is left with like what? Phoenix and Warpins. A couple of overcharges, maybe? I really would be surprised if ByuN couldn't win the attack here. Win the game off the attack, even. I mean, it's just a 74 supply, guys. It's a lot of Marauders. Who cares about Pylons? The Adepts aren't really well supported. I mean, I want to be the guy who makes jokes about like, oh, you just made Adepts, nice skill, but I mean, honestly, he's just making Adepts, and I don't think it's gonna work. He does actually crank up some more Phoenix, but that might not be too bad. More thoughts on that in a moment. Hey, thank you ESCM for the 26 months. Thank you for having a spaced out name. Looks good in the overlay. It's terrible to read in Twitch chat. Either way, love your face. Thanks for watching. Pylon gets picked off. That'll be a good end too. Marauders just bring so much damage to the party. Widow Mines get a kill on the Mothership Core, but that may be good because like the Mothership Core dying means more new energy quickly. I don't know. I'm trying to rationalize this. Classic's in trouble. The Adepts transfer through. Widow Mines do go off in a lot of units, so these have been like kind of EMP'd. Their shields are gone. This fight's not going to go well, and it looks like ByuN's just kind of running away with the game at this point. Yeah, 81 to apply an army to 8. GG. And, well, that's going to conclude Game 3. ByuN takes a 2-1 lead now in the series. But as I've been trying to emphasize and drive home for you guys, this is a best of 7, not a best of 9. So we're not close to our last life yet. We're about halfway through the winning if ByuN can keep it up. But 2-1 being what it is, we'll be back shortly. I'll see you guys after this break. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, we're back, but I think we're waiting for the game to start. Get the intro loaded. Proxima Station. Hey, let's get into it. All right, folks, game number 4 here in the Olimoleague Grand Finals. Spawning here at the top right, he does lead 2-1. It is the blue Terran player, ByuN. With his opponent spawning in the bottom left, the red Protoss Classic. Also, cool, I didn't realize he finally arrived. I know we were talking about this last week, but if you guys haven't seen... sort of has actually officially joined the BaseTradeTV training house over in Korea. So right now you got Drogo, sort of, Kelazor, Major, Cloudy, and Scarlet, I believe, are the people staying there at the moment. And of course, No Regret too. He's helping manage things. So that's pretty awesome to see. If you haven't seen it, it's on No Regret's Twitter. If someone could link it in chat, that'd be great. Just kind of shows a video of everybody practicing, and the house is actually full, which is super sick. I believe Sort of and Drogo are specifically looking to try out for GSL Season 2, which I think is pretty rad, man. But anyways, ByuN's going to change up the proxy, and this is actually something he does on Proxima Station a bit. Factory over here lifts it up to the main, although he could just do Factory into a starport. Either way, I'm really curious to see how he plans to handle it, because Classic scouts the barracks thing at home. He's going to scout only one gas. So for me, by the way, this says lift off on the factory, but not staying long enough to confirm that there was no CC following this up versus a factory. I mean, these guys play each other a lot, so this might just be guesswork. This might just be Classic saying, you know what? ByuN to play each other like 40 times, man. I know what you're doing on this map. Like, I don't even have to scout to guess. I don't know if that's the case, but it's possibly the case. Well, lift. There we go. This is great. There's a proxy counter going on, and I don't know what he plans to proxy over here. But the thing that is for certain is that no matter what Classic is doing elsewhere, his tech path leaves him without detection. So there's no Robo, there's no Oracle, there's no Forge for cannons, and the Stargate is on the wrong side of the map. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it now. GG. I believe ByuN wins. If Classic wants to come across the map and bring that Oracle back home for detection, it'll take forever. If he wants to start a Robo immediately, maybe there's a chance this doesn't get out of hand. I love that the probes are even pulled. If you guys don't know, even if you surround that Widow Mine, you're not killing it with probes. You need a little bit of extra damage from either the Mothership Core or an Adept or something. I like the Adepts actually trying to camp this out, so I retract my preemptive GG and recognize there's actually a chance to try and recover from this. While this goes on, though, ByuN is stacking Marines on his side of the map, and it does take 6 Marines to kill an Oracle, so this might not be too bad with the medevac coming out too, but that Widow Mine just kind of runs away. It wants to burrow so badly, it just wants life. And well, it doesn't quite get to burrow. Oh! Oh! Classic tried to be fancy, and it cost him more probes. I think it would have lost 1, if anything. 3 Adepts will kill that Widow Mine very quickly. So ByuN has rallied that outward because he wants that running away. Medevac scouts what's going on here. Oh, that's so sick. Yeah, rip. Oracle does not quite go down. Yes, it does. Maybe I'm putting my GG back into play, guys. Cannon's finally finishing up. Widow Mine's got like maybe 1 more shot in it. Yeah, that's probably about it. He's going to have to move that away. He just doesn't have anywhere to really hide it other than just away from the Adepts, generally speaking. But the Stargate is shut down. The Oracle dies. GG. There we go. ByuN takes the game. Now with a 3-1 lead in the series. And finally puts his opponent on his last life. You guys might notice it's a bit darker in here. I turned off my light because the light's really fucking warm. But it is now Classic on his last life as we go to game number 5. If he loses here, it's all over. I should note, we mentioned it earlier briefly, but I haven't brought it up again since. But the Olimoleague monthly finals are worth a lot of money. $700 on the line. But first and second place is where most of that money lies. And of course, let me not miss out on the lobby. Sorry, 1 sec here. Anyways, for those who don't know the prize difference, it is $350 for first place and $200 for second. So it's really quite a bit of money both players will be getting today for winning or losing, but ideally you want to be winning. There's EU after dinner linking the tweets. Yeah, let's show this on stream actually. I saw this earlier. Someone posted it to Reddit recently. Yeah, it's cool. So Major, Cloudy, Drogo, Kelazor, sort of, Scarlet. You know, like, I want to make this clear. We don't own any of these players or anything, and they're not technically on any team associated with us, right? Like ByuN is. But I think it's super freaking cool that we could support these guys, pay for the house for them to be in, all that sort of stuff. So I hope things go well, frankly. And if they are going to try out for GSL Season 2, with that many foreigners now in play, hopefully one of them can make something happen. But yo, this guy's got ants in his pants. He refuses to stay at home in any of these games. Top left side of the map, it is the red Terran player, ByuN. Take a chill pill, dude. Because in the bottom right, it's going to be his blue Protoss opponent Classic. But this is really cool for me, because at the start of the series, I did talk specifically how I expected Classic to be the one who's cheesy and give ByuN a run for his money. And that's kind of how things started out, but now it's changed quite a bit. Oh, excuse me one sec. Damn, I've been fighting off that yawn for a while. Anyways, we got a Proxy Reaper coming into play once again. And I don't know if this will, like, it's hard to tell. I don't know what the trigger is for ByuN to say, like, one's worth more than the other, but the question does remain whether this will turn into something more, like a factory proxy or not. But the Probe Scouts, it now knows it needs to look for something. ByuN has put this in a little bit less than typical location, as normally the pylons, the barracks are placed like on the top right side. So this should get the Reaper out pretty easily. Yeah, Probe went really far to look for that, by the way. That kind of sucks. He'll come left now, but it's a bit late, and looks like ByuN's already pulling off this, so that factory's just probably going to get plopped down at home. SCV probably best used for scouting for the time being, if anything. People talk about Rifkin being a ByuN fanboy in chat. That's actually not entirely true. Take it back, it's true, it's true. I love him, he's the best. Alright, Proxy Factory still comes into play. He jukes and jives and he dodges, but all for nothing because the probe still didn't find the base in the end of the day. Anyways, and Classic is going to be really annoyed by this. That being said, the first Reaper's already out, and as we've seen, you can certainly get your workers killed with that Reaper. Even with the Mothership Core on the way, just pulling 5 probes right off the bat is already a pretty expensive endeavor. Oh, he wants that one probe real bad, though. He's not going to get 4, though. This is, a big shutdown, actually. But it's also an overcharge being burned, so the Zealot and the Mothership Core are going to rush to the left to clear out that barracks. Little does he know about this factory. To ByuN, he's not going to go... Oh, I was going to tell Widow Mines. Forget it. He's going for a Cyclone. Forget about it. The other thing the Cyclone can't do is really kill air units, but it will destroy anything on the ground. That Adept is probably wondering what it's going to be. Like, there's that question like, oh, I'm ready for the Widow Mine, but he cancels the transfer. That means he's not going to have an escape. But the Cyclone is going to be a surprise. I guarantee you he didn't think it was a Cyclone. So that Adept is going to go down. The Mothership Core can try, but she's just going to get locked on. Select. Rest of runs, buddy. Second Cyclone comes out. It's going to be devastating damage. You can't even put pylons down at the front. You do. They're going to melt. So he tries to get one up in time for the overcharge, but it's not going to happen. ByuN's going to recognize that. He can just turret away at the Adept, and if the Adept runs away, he can just shoot the pylon. I mean, either way, this gives some good damage. The lock-on's a little bit lame, to be honest, and I think like killing the pylon would have been way better use of his time. In fact, loses the Cyclone for it. Oh, no. But there's a proxy starport that was built. Sorry, attention was on these Cyclones while this went down. And that's kind of the point, too. So he follows it up with a Liberator. Mothership Core and everything's been so obsessed with these Cyclones. The thing is, he might not actually have... Yeah, he doesn't have enough pylons in the right place for this. So that Phoenix coming out is very important. The Stalker that was made, very important. He needs to deal with this Liberator as soon as he possibly can. Otherwise, this just denies a lot of mining. Now, it is worth noting, guys, ByuN did throw it on the command center behind this, but I believe this has failed. The Cyclone, for example, will get Graviton beamed. The Stalkers, yep, exactly, will do some damage too. Oracle went to the other side of the map, and I don't know what happened that it didn't get 1,000,000 worker kills, but it's out of energy, and it can't kill anymore, not for the time being. Overcharge catches the Cyclone on the way out. This is... This has been surprisingly really good responses out of Classic, by the way. Like, ByuN's attack here has won many games, and we've watched that all here on the channel together. Community effort, right? But the thing is, Classic's actually handling himself very well. And while it doesn't look like he's panicking, I'm sure internally there's a lot of screaming, a lot of frustration. I don't know how you would curse David Kim in Korean, but, you know, that. The Banshee follow-up, I actually like a lot. And it has a lot to do with the same element of Widow Mines here in terms of like just not having Cloak. Because ByuN, for example, knows Classic now has to choose. Do you cast Revelation on the Widow Mine and clean up that nasty, nasty Widow Mine? Or do you have to cast Revelation on like a Banshee? Lifts the factory to the main to build Widow Mines directly into the main. My God. ByuN, you're so beautiful. I don't know if people tell you that enough, man. But you need to know it. That Oracle's got no juice. There's no detection. That Cloak on that Banshee is going to be phenomenal. It doesn't have to cast Cloak for so long. Means it gets to stay away for so much longer. Classic is going to bleed probes. He's going to waste time transferring them too. And this Banshee could just sit here. You know, he could actually kill the pylon. 2 Banshees could kill the pylon that's powering the Stargate and prevent a second Oracle from coming into play. But I don't think he's worried about that. He wants to try and get as many probe kills as he can before detection ends up killing him. But splitting the Banshees like this has already been done. Oh, Jesus, guys, this is getting out of control. Now, note, as soon as he actually casts detection on these Banshees, the Phoenix are going to like 2-shot him. It's sad and it's depressing. But this has killed 20 probes. This is out of control. And on top of that, lost mining for both, right? Like, ByuN on the way out takes. Do you see that last second target fire swap? 23 probes died for his sins. Classic feeling the burn from that attack. I honestly don't know if 2 bases can recover from 12 workers. Keep in mind, he's still building Widow Mines. There's nothing shooting this factory right now. There was a soccer earlier, but they moved on to start shooting the starport instead. Cloaks the Banshee. The Observer's out. Okay, so there's some reliable detection now. And the factory's gonna die. But ByuN had a second base mining behind this. And while he loses some pretty crucial buildings, I think ByuN's good to go. I love that he made bunkers too, fully aware that the only option for Classic in this scenario is a counterattack. ByuN may not have counted the probe kills. He might not know he killed exactly 28 this game, and his opponent's only got 19. But he knows that he killed enough that it forces Classic's hand. He kills one of the Phoenix. Probably could have gotten 2 if he's paying a little more attention. But Chi-Chi's finally get called. And ByuN will take the series, ladies and gentlemen, 4-1, and be your March Olimoleague champion. That is some good shit. Good job, ByuN. All right, guys. Last calls for bits before I end up finishing off for ByuN. If ByuN is the biggest boss of the day, we're going to give him his boss loot to covet. And ByuN, I want to make it perfectly clear, man. You have the right to do whatever you want with this code if you so win it. I would just appreciate if you didn't sell it. This is something that's rare and exclusive, and I think you should absolutely use on your account because nobody else has this. But again, it's yours to use how you please if you're the biggest boss. We'll go to a commercial break. We'll come back. I'll talk about some things before I say goodbyes. And then we'll award the boss bit champion. So thanks for watching today, guys. Thanks for all the bits. Thanks for watching and subscribing and all that good stuff. And yeah, see you in a couple minutes. I said watching twice. All right, we're back. Thanks for watching the finals, guys. Thanks for sticking around through that ad break. Actually, before I do the screen region for what I needed to do, boop, boop. I'm gonna play the ad button before I forget. Before we go, I really want to make this very clear, guys. We have a really cool new feature on Twitch. Like, it is a fucking phenomenal. I think it is the best thing since Twitch Prime, and I love Twitch Prime sort of change. And that is, we have now an events page. So if you go to twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV/events. There's not a lot on here right now, but I'm gonna be, once we have our schedule set for April, I'm gonna put every single event we plan to cast in April up on here. This is cool for a lot of reasons because it will like share for you guys like a pretty consolidated, easy to access calendar of like what's going on, where's going on, etc. But more importantly, you can have it like send you reminders of like hey, when the Olimoleague finals goes on, fucking remind me. I definitely don't want to miss this. Or like show match is going on, like I definitely don't want to miss this type thing. It's really not going to be a big game changer for the dedicated fans who show up for every broadcast anyways. Shout out to folks like Dom and others, but I think it's going to be really cool and a good tool, because right now our website in comparison is kind of bleak. BaseTradeTV. Like, this does the same job, but it's kind of like, I don't think it looks as good. I actually think this is going to look phenomenal. So I plan to fill this up with all sorts of events and everything that we need for the next month. And I hope you guys will get used to using it. So bookmark it, twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV/events. And if you see an event you want to watch, make sure to hit the reminder button. I think the problem a lot of YouTubers see and a lot of people on Twitch will see is that their followers don't get properly notified when they go live. So they can't really join in guaranteed all the time always. So again, I'd be very, very happy if you guys would follow the events page. I want to make it a big deal, and I'm going to be using it a lot for our channel. You know, while we are sponsored by Twitch, this is no way like some promotional thing. Like, this is actually just like a sick fucking change, and I'm so glad they made it happen. But anyways, before we take off for the stream, SnowPython says, I'm trying to get bits. It's so slow. That's cool, dude. I got a few minutes to talk before we take off anyway, so if you want to snake out that victory from ByuN, now's the time to do it. But yeah, so we don't have anything for April planned. I will note we are going to be casting live at DreamHack. Now, it's not the main stage, but they've invited us and set up a special area in the player pit for us, which is going to be really cool. So Zombie and myself will be live at DreamHack casting. That's at the end of April. Up until that point, though, we have to figure out our schedule. We have pretty standard things like the Olimoleague happening on Tuesdays, and then something, we got VSL on Thursday and Friday, but we have to find the time to do Corsair Cup and BTSL. I really want to do BTSL because if you guys don't know, BTSL now has a fucking $200 prize pool for a weekly and a $500 prize pool for a monthly, so super upgrades. And then on top of this, we have a $500 show match we need to throw with Matcherino. It's a lot of stuff. So if you guys haven't seen, !MEGA in chat will take you to our mega tournament fundraiser. We are well over 6,000. I think we're close to $7,000 now. Well, we are shooting for $30,000, and that would be nice to get by the end of the year. If we don't have that, that's fine. It just means either the prize pool for the tournament will be smaller than we expected, or we don't get as big of a venue. Oops, excuse me, as big of a venue as we were hoping for. Because if you guys don't know, like, running an event is great, but to give you context here, a decent sized venue with like a good like audience area that's not just like, you know, a set of bleachers in a tent. If you guys don't know what I'm referencing here, I'll tell you in a second. It's probably between $5,000 and $10,000 a day. So we want to throw this like 30K tournament, and hopefully that's what we keep the prize pool at. That means if we want to make it a 3-day event, we need to raise between like $20,000 and $30,000. If we want to make it a 2-day event, $10,000 to $20,000. You know, it's tough, and so that's fundraisers. That fundraiser's going a long way to try and make that happen and make it as big and awesome as possible. Not to mention there are some ways to help the players living in the house in Korea along the way. But yeah, for those who don't know, who didn't see it, the Halo... Oh my Jesus. I need to share this with you guys. It's so stupid. I didn't believe this was real. But we kept getting these messages during the Ting Open from people saying like, lol, your event looks better than the Halo World Championship Finals. And I'm like, well, why is that a big deal, right? Halo World Championship Finals apparently had like a $1 million prize pool. And I guess they used all the money on the prize pool because this was literally the venue. Fucking sad ass balloons. A tent. That damage done, though. Thank you, SnowPython, for the 1,000 bits. A tent with bleachers set up inside. Like, that, I don't want to do that, guys. I want to have something nice that looks good. Oh, ByuN is fighting back. We got an actual, like, boss battle on our hands right now. SnowPython's doing it again to take him down. ByuN's even healing a bit. But anyways, I don't want to drag this out for too long. I promise I'm not delaying. I'm actually just talking about stuff that is important to me. So that being said, the last couple things to go over here is first off, I had a really good time with Zombie Up this weekend at the Ting Finals with Nathanius as well. It was a blast. I really hope we can do more of that stuff in the future. I think Corsair was pretty pleased with how it went. I know for Jesse, it's all a matter of like how many people sign up for Ting, but he got to do a lot of handouts, and I hope that Season 4 of Ting's going to happen, despite my Battlecruiser proxies. People were actually telling me I should have tried to throw the game. I'm like, guys, Jesse's not like that. He's super chill. But 2, I hope we can do it at Corsair again, because hosting the event at Corsair, first off, saves us a ton of money, but also gives them a ton of exposure. And for those who weren't there live, they were doing some really sick promotional stuff. They had Corsair Gear, like not old Corsair Gear, but they have like new Corsair Gear stuff on sale for like 50% off at the venue. Like, can you imagine going to an event, coming out there, and getting like these headsets for like $40 or something? Like, yo, these are, by the way, I always praise them. These are my favorite fucking headsets. I will never find a pair of headsets better than the Corsair Wireless Voids. I'm pretty fucking sure. Anyways, shilling and stuff aside, if you do want to buy Corsair Gear, because I do have 2 sponsor shoutouts here, scroll down below, use the affiliate links. If you guys use the affiliate links, it doesn't matter whether you go off the page, as long as you've been to the page, it's in your cookies, and we will get a small percentage of your purchase. So please consider buying through the Corsair store. Twitch obviously is another big sponsor of ours, so consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. Currently, VODs are still, this is the last thing we're going to talk about, I swear, before we go. The VODs are still open to non-subscribers, so the VODs on BaseTradeTV right now are public. Part of that's because we're going through a YouTube transition, and before we were on a network that was not paying us very much and totally screwing us over. We thought getting off the network would solve everything. Turns out more problems are arising. So we are currently not making any money on our YouTube. Feels bad, man. Actually, and to explain this a little bit further, supposedly we can't enable monetization because of suspicious click activity, but like, cards on the table, guys, like, we play YouTube legit. There's no like view botting going on here that I'm aware of, at least. So I don't know why it's disabled. We submitted a ticket to inquire as to why like a week ago. We still don't have a response. So yeah, YouTube's not doing so hot, but we are still putting VODs over there. It's just much slower and less prioritized because there's no dollars for views. So watch them here. Watch them for free. Enjoy it while you can. Hey, Nate, shout out. Joins us at the end of the stream. Thank you to Thanius. Sarah also hitting us up with a 13-month resub, as well as Scaland, 14 months. Riff is king. Oh, Annie stopped by to say I heart StarCraft 2 and you guys, but she's apparently not watching because it's not you guys, it's just me guy today. And then Smokey the Bandit we missed earlier. Run Amok as well. Thank you both for the 4-month resubs. And Goat Boy, I don't know when you came in, but 35 months ago is when apparently you came in the first time. So thanks for resubbing. Sorry we missed that. I missed that. Damn it, now I'm doing wheeze. Anyways, I think we're all done. Yo, Stats is streaming. GSL Champion Stats. Ugh, spoiler alert. I'm probably going to throw on my host. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day. I will see you guys. Fuck, I don't even know when we're casting. Are we casting tomorrow? I'll find out later tonight. So thank you guys for watching. Monty Ood, stick around. I'll whisper you in a moment, and I'll get you that portrait code sorted over there. So have a good day, everybody. Congratulations, Monty Ood, on being the biggest boss. Good night. Well, I'm going to sleep. It's a good day for you guys. Whatever. I'm just rambling at this point. I'm so tired. I just want to go to bed.